Hello, this is Tom, aka Gedeon, here for Tabletop Tap Room, and we're going to be looking at some Mothership products today from Tuesday Night Games. Night spelled as in a knight in armor. Tuesday Night Games on drive-through has some really cool stuff that you can take and just drop it right into your sci-fi game, whatever game you play, Star Frontiers, Stars Without Number, Traveler. I am sure that some of these ideas and adventures and rules for running computers, matrix, and hacking will work in your game and make it better. But just want to say thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon. Now, Tuesday Night Games on drive-through. Let's do a share screen. Tuesday Night Games has stuff. Now, I've spotlighted this product here, Mothership's Hideo's World. This is, these are, actually, let's, these print out. They're a one sheet. One sheet prints both sides and folds as a trifold pamphlet. And I've printed these out today because I actually I did not print them out for the video. I printed them out and stuck them in my suit coat pocket because I knew I was going to be going to a play, a musical with the Good Wife, a friend of ours, Tammy's favorite choreographer. Had a job with a high school choreography, doing the choreography for their Addams Family. And so we needed to go and support. And we really like her, but you know, I printed off some one sheets and stuck them in the sport coat inside pocket. Just in case I was a little bored, I could just, be, reading them. But so I had previously reviewed Hideo's World. And Hideo's World actually has it's a matrix type adventure. And I actually, very early this morning, I was thinking about this, and I said to a buddy of mine, I says, hey, in Star Frontiers, the players do start with so low resources and money that this kind of an adventure would really be great for starting adventure, because having little equipment is irrelevant when you jack into the computer and then go exploring inside the computer world. And that's Hideo's World. And so this is a very simple little adventure, and it's well done. And I know I've spotlighted this one before. And in thinking about that, I says, well, let me just see what else they have. And Mothership, they have the Hacker's Handbook. Now, this is not an adventure, but it's it's literally a one sheet. It's literally a one sheet that gives you ideas on hacking. And you could totally port this straight into Star Frontiers. Now the thing is that Star Frontiers has a lot of support within it for certain things, commerce campaigns, for instance. When you get into the Nighthawks rules, they've got a lot of support for doing the space trucker thing with a freighter, mining ship. You could, even if you were creative and didn't mind creating up, NPC passengers, you could do the cruise ship thing, love boat, woo. But it's so there's a lot of support there for that kind of thing. There was a lot of support, some Dragon magazine support for running Starlaw adventures. A lot of mercenary type things are very possible. But one of the things that you don't get a lot of support in, that you probably would have if the Matrix had been out back then, when this was when Star Frontiers was in publication, was computer hacking. And now there's some robust computer skill rules there, and you've got bypass security, defeat security, going on with the computer skills. but you don't have a lot for, it's the game master's got to come up with it on their own. So this actually is loaded with great ideas, and they talk about unsecured nodes. They're really talking about terminals, access points for the computer, and then users. You have the user admin accounts, employee accounts, guest accounts, super accounts, which is really, the hacker's dream. So if you had a player who did not have computer skill, they recommend things here like user accounts, guest accounts, that if you steal an ID card, steal a password, intimidate somebody, interrogate somebody, use tell-all on them, use the drug tell-all and Star Frontiers on them. You could get their password and get their thing and then access the terminal. You don't have to actually hack. And I was like, that's really great, because you never know when you just got a mix of skills in a party and nobody took computers. It's like the time that you set up an adventure and nobody has robotic skills, and robotic skills figures prominently in the adventure. So I guess we're just setting lasers to 20, laser rifles to 20, and blasting every robot we see in this adventure, because we can't deactivate them. We're going to deactivate them the hard way. So I really liked this. It's $2, $1.99. In fact, I do not believe I paid $1.99 for Hideo's World. I believe I actually got it for a lot less. I think I got it on sale, so I didn't pay full price. When Drive-Thru has one of those sales, and so absolutely fantastic. This Matrix type adventure where you're jacking into the computer, some hacking rules and suggestions for running a hacking game. Like they talked about, they use an example in here quite a bit of a ship, like you're trying to hack the ship systems. And this is actually really good, because in Star Frontiers, you have, you've got terminals on the ship identified. The command deck's got a terminal. You're going to have the terminal in the engineering space that accesses the drive program. You might have terminals in the captain's cabin or in the employees' cabins, but maybe they don't access ship controls directly. I always make allowances for that sort of thing, and so they talk about doing that, and I really like that you don't have to do straight up hacking. And we do have in Zebulon's guide the computer access computer. It's a hacker's computer for using their computer skills against the computer, everything except for repair. You're not using the computer repair skill, but all the other skills, you pretty much can use the other skills with the computer access computer. And I think maybe that you could actually have a computer access computer for dummies. That'd be the person without any computer skill trying to get in and use a user account or a guest account. And so they talk about how much access a guest account versus a user account versus an admin versus a super user account in there. So it's really great. Then while I was at it, for the schnitz and giggles of it, I downloaded Terminal Delays at Narine's Folly. Narine's Folly is a station. The players are transporting something they don't know that they're transporting. The people on the station want to get it. And so there's a lot of delays going on with you trying to dock with this station. And, they do things like, demand that you turn over automated controls for docking, and they very keep politely refusing to let you do it manually. No, you must turn it over and let the station computer do it. The station AI. Now, we don't have traditional AIs in Star Frontiers, just because of the age. I don't even know if AI was, in the 80s, 82 was even like a thought. Well, I don't know. We had that movie War Games with Matthew Broderick with the Whopper. So I think we did have some concept of AIs, and they did bake a basic concept of AI into Star Frontiers with the computer brain, with the robotic brain. So I would just use like a robotic brain on the station is now hacking the computer if they get access. And so this adventure is really predicated on there's two prongs to this. You've got the assault by the computer, the robotic brain on the station, hacking the ship's computer. The system you have, so they provide you with a systems hack timeline, station escalation timeline, what's going on with the station. But not everything goes the station's way. There's little mistakes that happen, like some of the small talk from the station controller, the guy who's talking to the players, is really inane and designed to try to, it's designed to be innocuous, but it's the kind like players might start getting suspicious over this. And so then there's some station comm slip ups. They muffle the microphone, but you clearly hear one word, and it's a word that should make you go, excuse me. There's comms are accidentally left open. There's an encoded command that's intended for the station AI, and instead of sending it to the station AI, they accidentally send it to the player's ship. The players will have to decode it. They'll have to de-encrypt it, hack the encryption on it. And, if they do that, it just happens to be the next set of things that's going to happen. So there's, and then there's a drop ship with Marines being sent, and they're being sent to do repairs to your ship, whether you want them or not. And the AI at the same time is hacking any external cameras, so you don't get a good view of their ship, and they're just saying it's a repair shuttle type of adventure. And so it's really a cool adventure with escalating timeline. You've got a small talk table. You've got a gaslighting table. The station's AI is gaslighting your ship. I was sold on buying this when I saw gaslighting table. I'm like, I want to see the gaslighting table. $2 for the adventure. It's totally worth it to see the gaslighting table. The small talk table, I was really curious to see the small talk table. Now, it's not something that you're going to just roll on for your adventures, but it points the direction for you to create a list of small talk, a list of gaslighting in an adventure. If there was an AI, a robotic brain doing gaslighting, the types of things that it could do. So this points the way. So this is an excellent adventure where it's ratcheting up the tension. Now, Mothership's a horror sci-fi adventure type of adventure, and this is not so much horror in that, but it's very tension, ratchet the tension up, because new things happen in the timeline every half-hour game time or every 20 minutes real-world time. And so you could actually do that by having a little timer on the table, and every time it goes, you could have just a little kitchen timer. Wind it to 20 minutes, set it there, ding, and then you advance, something new happens, and then reset the timer. And as that thing's ticking, that ticking's going to wear on the nerves of the players, that ticking clock. And then it goes, ding, something new is now happening. And, and then you wind it to 20 minutes and tick, 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 tick. I mean, it's going to so get on the nerves of the players. Some of these adventures come with audio files, with music. Hideo's World comes with music. I believe the Terminal Delays, great name, double entendre there. I'm sure you can guess what the double entendre is. Terminal Delays. this could actually be a pretty deadly adventure, particularly if the AI gets away with what it wants to do to the ship, and then you've got that Marine party trying to board the ship because they're looking to recover the thing that you don't know is on your ship. So great adventures, great material. I absolutely am loving Mothership these days, particularly for the Hacker's Handbook from Tuesday Night Games, and Hideo's World has really got me thinking about alternate adventures in Star Frontiers where hacking is more of a thing. A solo, maybe a solo game where a hacker is trying to get access. He's moving about and he's trying to either pick somebody's pocket to get their ID card and then use it before security. Like the hackers thing here, there's a whole table of the response. That if you have a failed hacking attempt, what's the response? What happens? Different responses, different escalating responses, and poor hacking attempts will then cause a +1 to the response. And so these things could become accumulative, and so this is very much. Some of those responses are send a security officer to see what's going on. One of them is to send a kill team. Like the worst response is actually to send a kill team. Where is it in this? So you could actually end up with a tactical response team deployed on seek and destroy mission, arrives heavily armed in 1d5 rounds. 1d5 combat turns in Star Frontiers. So, or you could increase that time a little bit, 1d5 plus 5, give them a little more time since the combat rounds in Star Frontiers are pretty short, because you would presume put on the tactical vest, they're sticking grenades in pouches, clips in pouches, pistol, rifle. They're decking themselves out, going in loaded for bear, tactical response. But it doesn't have to be that far down the table. That's on a 9+. But a lot of different responses. And so this really becomes a great resource for you for any sci-fi, whether it's Traveler, whether it's, I think I suggested Stars Without Number, White Star, any of these. This material is it's almost completely system neutral. I mean, the stats they provide in here for NPCs, well, that would be in terminal delays, are really geared to Mothership. But I mean, how hard is it? Any competent game master to just whip up a kill team, whip up a Marine boarding team, whip up some NPCs. You should be able to handle it. So that stuff, I don't sweat that stuff at all. But I definitely like the direction these things. Now, I do have one criticism. So while I love the direction these things are going with the Matrix in Hideo's World, and then the Mothership Hacker's Handbook, and of course, links will be in the show notes. And I'm loving this adventure, terminal delays at Anarine's Folly. My one complaint is that the PDF is this trifold pamphlet. So it's like you got to fiddle around with zooming in to read this. And so when I'm on this page, I'm going to read this, but now I got to flip to the other page and, bounce around these panels, then go to the back. And when I'm going to the back, am I here? I'm not sure. When you're trying to read it on your smartphone, it's a pain in the neck. And they don't have a PDF that's like the standard PDF that you would just read. They put multiple files on the download. Great. Love that. You get the music file with background music for Hideo's World, the background music you're hearing while you're in the computer. Absolutely fantastic. And then there's like an automated message in the terminal delays. So this is fantastic stuff, but it's just that PDF is a pain in the neck on your phone. Not so bad on the computer. You're able to kind of zoom, pan, and scan a little bit on the home computer, but you've got to actually just open the PDF and print it out, and then do the trifold. It's they're perfectly done for this, and I love this, and I thought it was being really slick by doing a couple of these and putting them right in the suit coat jacket, my sports coat jacket. So yeah, Tuesday night games, they're really killing it, and and the price is right. I should have done this as a free Friday review, but I'm really promoting these for Star Frontiers, for my Star Frontiers fans that are out there. Mothership Hacker's Handbook and Hideo's World. It's spelled Hideo apostrophe S. Hideo's World. That sounds like a Japanese name to me. It's very matrixy, and I think it would be a perfect beginning adventure. Player characters are working for one of the staffing, the galactic task force, and somebody needs a job. So some executive needs a job off the books, needs you to go do this, needs to be off the books. Plausible deniability for the executive. That's that kind of thing. And so you jack into the computer. You can't really die. I mean, you could die. You could have some system shock for dying in the computer. Potentially, I think they might have actually built something like that in here. But I wouldn't. It doesn't have to be too lethal. And the fact that you don't have a lot of equipment starting out is irrelevant, because you're jacking into the computer. And if you're doing true Matrix, you do the whole thing where, what do you need? Guns, lots of guns. Maybe not allow the characters unlimited supplies. Maybe you've got a computer chip and it's only first level, so that allows you so much value worth of equipment. So choose wisely. You can have anything you want, but you got to preload it into that level 1 cheap jacking chip that lets you jack into the computer. So you go in there, or maybe you have an area within the computer where it's like a marketplace. You go in there and you're talking to NPCs, which are really just the computer, the AI, and getting the equipment that you want, type of thing. You could even do fatigue, system fatigue points, where you have hit points while in the computer, and it's based off of your logic. So I would do 10, your logic divided by 10. So whatever your logic is, 60 divided by 10, it would be 6 plus 10 points, so 16. Then 1 point for every level of computer skill you have. Computer players should get a little something extra, and maybe 5 extra points if you happen to be psionics or have mentalist power. You got a little extra. So, and if you wanted, you could say Verse get 1 point extra just because they're Verse, because nobody plays Verse. Everybody plays everybody else. Nobody plays Verse. So the Verse get the least amount of love player character wise in Star Frontiers. And that's how I would do it. So you would have these as hit points in the computer. So if combat goes on in the computer, a la Matrix style, and you get wounded, and you get knocked down to 0, you just bounced out, make a logic save, or there's consequences. So you get knocked down to 0, you get bounced out of the computer, got to make a logic save, or there's consequences. Consequences could be that you're going to be unconscious for D10 hours, temporarily lose 5 points of logic for so many days, D10 days, that sort of thing. So you can have consequences for losing combat, but ultimately it's not that bad. Maybe a 3% chance that you could die if you die in the computer type thing. I don't know that I'd want to make it that lethal, although you could. You could be Matrix lethal, where they pull the thing out while you're still in there and then you die. um, but certainly it doesn't have to be that lethal. So I definitely like this material. Did I show the stuff? Did I show the stuff? I'm not sure. So there's Hideo's World, Terminal Delays, and the Mothership Hacker's Handbook. And I put some affiliate links in the show notes. So check it out. Again, $1.99. And I caught Hideo's World. I know I caught Hideo's World on sale. Didn't even pay full price. But certainly $2 is pretty cheap, honestly. What is that? I pay more for coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. So this is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room, Star Frontiers Gamer. We're signing out, getting this video up because I got to make a trip to Boston here on Monday. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. Don't forget that like, subscribe, and bell icon. And let's roll some credits.